Hello, everyone. I'm just going to give everyone a couple more minutes, like maybe one more minute to join, and then we will go ahead and get started. Okay, it looks like the joining pace has slowed down a little bit, so we're going to go ahead and get started so we can get you out of here by 8 o'clock tonight. So my name is Carrie Campbell. I am the Assistant Director for Communications with University Housing. And with us today, we have Heather Arnold, who is also in Communications with Housing, and McKenna Ezekiel, who is a student. Hey, McKenna. So Heather and one of our other housing employees will be behind the scenes kind of answering your questions. If you put them in the Q&A box, I'll explain that in a minute. And then McKenna is there to kind of offer her perspective as a student. So again, here, oh, okay, you can do it. There we go. So here's what you're here for. This is for incoming first-year students and their families and supporters for fall 2025. If you are not already admitted to the university, then maybe not for you yet. If you are already a student here, definitely not for you. You already did this. And if you're admitted for spring, you're welcome to stay, but some of the timelines and processes may be slightly different. So this one's for fall first year students in fall 2025. Now you can probably see there's a Q&A button on your screen. If you're on mobile, you may have to tap to see it. Otherwise, it's in that kind of bar that says like you turn your audio on, your video on. There's a Q&A button there, should be. And if you press that button, you can type in a question at any time during the webinar, and our people behind the scenes will be able to answer that if I'm not answering it. Now, we're also going to spend some time answering questions just at the end, so don't be hurt if I don't answer or they don't answer your question. They may be saving it because they think a lot of people are having that question, and we'll address it at the end. All right. So first thing you'll need to know is the Dawg House. So this is our very clever name for the portal that students use to manage their housing assignment. So students log in with their MyID or password. That's where they register for housing. That's where they will choose their space. I'll go over that timeline in a minute. That's where you can search for a roommate, designate a roommate. You do that by creating a roommate group. Room change, you can see the list there. So this is basically the be all end all of where you go to deal with your housing assignment. And that is where also students can see their contract. So here's the assignments timeline. November, well, it's actually December this year, December through May 1st generally. We are having people register for housing. So if you're admitted to the university and you haven't registered for housing, go ahead and do that, because the opportunity to choose your space is going to happen in the order in which you do that registration and pay a $35 registration fee. It does not commit you to UGA. It doesn't commit you to anything at that point. It's $35. We're hoping that's not a barrier, but it just puts you in line to be able to choose your space. So between, the time you register, which could have been December, up through May, we'll be registering people for housing. That's also time you have to see what we have to offer. Come to the webinars, do the virtual tours, go on YouTube, look up floor plans, kind of look up rates on the housing website. So do all those things. Starting March 1st, you were able to log into the Dawg House and search for roommates through our system. And that's basically called a roommate matching tool, where you answer a bunch of questions, you'll fill out a profile, and it'll match.com you with a bunch of other people. It'll may say, oh, Carrie, you're a 80% match with Heather. So I reach out to Heather and I decide, okay, we want to be roommates. I create a roommate group. That means that one of us can assign the other one to a space on campus. The only way to be with your roommate that you want to be with is to make sure you're in a roommate group together. And you can only be 2 people in a roommate group. I know it's called a group, but it's really a roommate pair. And that's because most of our spaces on campus only hold 2 people. McKenna, did you want to talk a minute about like what kind of options people have when they are looking for roommates? Like, how do you find a roommate? Like anything besides the roommate group? You've got advice for that?
Of course. So what I did was I went on Instagram, and of course, your students who are admitted know about the UGA 2029. Is that right? The right class? Okay, perfect. The 2029 Instagram pages where your child can go and post their picture and what they're interested in, and then they can meet students that way. And they also have a few different like college entering apps that you can go to find people and find roommates and all that type of stuff. But we usually use Instagram as the main one, and the roommate thing through dog Dawg House to find a roommate. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so that's helpful. So like she said, Instagram's a good option. Also, if they're using the hashtag like UGA 2029, that generally works as well. So once you've got your roommate, or you don't have to, I might talk about that in a minute. You don't have to have a roommate. Then we will not start giving appointment times for people to choose their own housing until the end of May. So we have to know how many people we have coming. The breakdown of male versus female, and that happens after the university's commitment deposit happens, so May 1st. So after May 1st, we kind of know what we're looking at, and then we will start offering appointment times for people to choose. And we hope to finish letting everyone choose by the 4th of July. That's kind of our goal every year, is to have everyone assigned by the end of 4th of July. But again, it's a student-driven process. Students are selecting their own housing during appointment times online on the Dawg House where they registered, based on the date that they paid that fee. And so it's I have people all the time who are like, oh, I did it on the first day. Well, that's great, but like ours is time stamped to the 2nd. So we really are offering 15 people every 15 minutes to go through that process, just to make sure it's not so overwhelming. We don't want it to be like a Taylor Swift concert. And we don't want it to be like a Ticketmaster nightmare. So that's why we stagger those times. And again, like we'll talk more about this later, but like since it's a student-driven process, it's often hard for us to determine, will this building be available? Will that building be available? Can I get a single room? On and on. Like, will I be able to pull my roommate in? It's based on the individual decisions of 6,000 18-year-olds. So to do with that what you will. There's always buildings that are in demand, but we do have space for everyone, and we were required to. We'll have space for everyone, so don't panic. You will not be forced to, like, I don't know, pitch a tent outside the Tate Center. You'll be fine. All right, so a couple caveats with the assignments process. If you are in Morehead Honors College, you do have priority room choice in Myers Hall. We can house up to 250 honors participants. That's usually about half, a little under half of the incoming honors class. So it's not a requirement that you live in Myers. It's just an option if you want to take that. And what'll happen is you'll be given an appointment to choose a space in Myers before the general appointment times begin. If you log in on that day, you'll only see rooms available to you in Myers. And at that point, if you have a roommate who is also in honors, you can pull in that honors participant. Now, McKenna talked a little bit about roommates, but I want to go more in depth to like how people are finding roommates. So her idea was bring a friend, right? So someone you already know, like someone from high school or your mom's coworker's cousin's daughter that they know, or I pick people find random ways. Bring somebody you already know, create a roommate group in the Dawg House, and there's a video on our YouTube channel about how to do that. And then either one of you can assign the other person to a space when it's your turn to choose. The second way would be like to call find a friend. So, you know, find someone on Instagram, find someone through our system in the Dawg House, communicate with each other, agree to be roommates, create a roommate group in the Dawg House. So you're seeing a theme here with the roommate group in the Dawg House. That roommate matching tool that we have in the Dawg House is not an automatic matching. So even if I match with, you know, it'll return several results, in other words. And then y'all can decide to reach out to each other and communicate and decide if you want to be roommates. And that roommate group thing is really the thing that makes you roommates in our eyes. And then the last one is we call make a friend, or we call it random. So about 30% of our incoming students have a random roommate. And that just means that you pick a space and someone else picks the other space or spaces in those rooms or apartments. And all you know about them is they are the same gender that you have on your UGA application, and they are another first-year student. So that's what you know about them. You will be able to see who they are again in the Dawg House. Once both roommates have chosen and signed their contracts, you'll be able to see who they are, and you can reach out at that point. So you don't have to wait till move-in day. It's not like TV where you move in and you're like, surprise, I'm your roommate and I'm weird, but like you'll know who that is. You'll get a chance to know them. All right, so room changes. So no one can ask for a room change unless you have a room, if that makes sense. So you need a completed housing contract to ask for a room change, which you would do, 3 guesses, in the Dawg House. So at any point, it's usually starting the beginning of June, people can request room changes. That just means you log in, you could put yourself on the waiting list for up to 3 other spaces. You can say, I want a single room, I want an apartment, or I just want a specific building, or I just want the first floor in any building. So there's all these options that you can put yourself on the waiting list for, and we will offer those on a continuous rolling basis all summer as spaces become available and in the order in which you made that request. So requests that were made, you know, early June may happen before requests that were made later in the summer, but again, it's student-driven process. We do not anticipate having any empty spaces. So at some point, you know, if you're requesting to move to Russell Hall, someone has to request to move out of Russell Hall for you to move in Russell Hall. So it gets a little wonky, and we do roll those over after move-in. So we'll continue to offer those, and you can say yes or you can say no at any point. And you can change your mind. If you've already moved in, maybe you don't want to move, but if you haven't moved in yet and we're still making those changes over the summer, that's a great way. That's a great place, great time to go ahead and take that room change. All right, and now your next question is, can we come see the rooms? And my grumpy cat says, no, sorry. So in this, we have, like I said, no empty rooms at present, and we're really prioritizing the security and the comfort of our current residents. In the summer, we have so many maintenance projects and renovations going on and deep cleaning that it's really not feasible for a lot of our buildings. And it's also, we have camp and conference participants with minors in them. So there's like swim camp and football camp and soccer camp. And we just don't want a bunch of random people wandering around with, you know, 12-year-old swimmers on the halls. But I'm not gonna leave you hanging. You may have already seen the virtual tour. I'm gonna see if I can give you a little, let me see if it lets me share that screen. I have to stop sharing this one and then share again. Sorry, technical difficulties. There we go. Okay, so I'm here on the housing homepage. It says I'm screen sharing, so I'm trusting people can see it. just housing.uga.edu. You can go to virtual tour here. And it will let you move this guy around. So here we are high above campus. There's the baseball field, there's the track, there's the Stegman Coliseum. Here, these are all residence halls. We have 23 residence halls and then like 12 apartment buildings. So you can navigate that way, or you can go over here to the left and just pick one. I'm gonna pick my favorite building because I live there, which is church. So we're gonna go down to Church Hall. Ta-da! Hi, church. I'm gonna, oh, look, there's the door. I'm gonna go in it. You don't even need to swipe your ID. You can just go straight on in. And then again, like you can see, I'm swishing around. Woo, hope I'm not making anybody sick. Or you can navigate over here on the left and go straight to like student room. So bam. We didn't have those nice floors when I lived in church, but for them. So that's a great option. All the buildings are on there. If you have a specific room that's like has an accommodation or is an ADA room, those rooms are on there as well. So that's the best way to really get a sense for what all the halls are like. I'm gonna stop sharing and go back to my PowerPoint. Why is this so hard? Okay. Oh, wait. Hold on. Gotta put it in full screen. Full screen. Share. Okay. Whew. I did it. Okay. Another great way to do that is with the floor and the room plans, and I will go over those in a second. And if I didn't put it in this PowerPoint, then I will make sure I hit on that. Move-in. All right. So we're doing good on time. Move-in, regular move-in starts August 8th, but there's an early move-in that's Thursday, August 7th, and that is only for participants in sorority recruitment, Red Coat Band, and I think there's International Student Life. Those are the ones that we have right now, as well as our volunteers for Hunger Down with Housing. All of that, except for the volunteers, incur a $50 fee, and you're only eligible to move in on August 7th if you're in one of those groups, and we have you on the list that those groups have provided to us. So everyone else can plan to move in beginning August 8th. So regular move-in is August 8th through 13th. We do have arrival times for both this date on the 7th and the 8th and the 9th. Those are going to be our busiest days. So the 7th is a Thursday, 8th is a Friday, 9th is a Saturday. So for all of those all of those days, you will need an arrival time, and that's to stagger the parking, the check-in, the elevator lines. Trust us, you do not want 6,000 people showing up at the same time. It's better this way for everyone. People are choosing their own arrival times, and that will happen at the end of June. So if you plan to move in on one of those first 3 days, you will need to get an arrival time. If you want to move in on the 10th, 11th, 12th, the first day of class is the 13th, you do not need an arrival time. You can come at any time. So and that's just because we have 80% of our people moving in on those first 3 days, and we want to kind of spread it out. So 7th, 8th, 9th, you will need an arrival time. There'll be like unloading zones and everything. After that, you will not need an arrival time. So just kind of think about what you want to do. You're not going to miss anything if you don't get there on the first day. The first events begin on that Sunday, I believe. So you will not miss anything if you decide to wait out the crowds. A little bit more about arrival times. Like I said, students will be choosing them themselves in late June. They are allocated per building. For example, so if we have a building that has 1,000 people in it, we may have 20 people show up per hour during the day. And then if we have a building that has 100 people in it, we may have 5 people show up per hour. It's really just based on how many people are in that building and how much parking is available around that building as well. So again, you'll choose your own time. So just be thinking about what those options are if you want to come in on the 7th, 8th, or 9th. All right. Gotta do a plug for working for housing. So we do employ more than 400 students in university housing. I mentioned briefly the volunteers. So we do have move-in volunteers. It's not paid position, sorry. But you do move in on the 7th and do not pay the $50 fee. First year students can do that if they're interested in it. And you will get some information in your email or in the move-in page of the housing website where you can go and do that. These are other positions that we have in university housing. We have what now they're called ambassadors, or really content creators for our social media, video producers. We have engineering assistants. I think we even have a interior design assistant, desk assistants, night desk assistants, because we have our desks that are open 24 hours. So if you're one of those late night people, you might want a night desk job. Does pay a little bit more. But in the meantime, if you're looking for ways to learn more about housing, our YouTube channel is a great way to do that. Our YouTube channel is specifically targeted towards incoming students. So, you know, a lot of content on there created by our students about their first year experience. We've got tours of rooms. We've got the how to get a roommate video on there. Just a lot of good kind of content if you're really getting to want a chance of like what actual things look like. And then I get this question a lot, so I'm gonna just put it out there that room sign up, which is what we call our contract renewal process. So when our current students tell us that they want to come back and return to housing after their first year or their second year or their third year or so on, that actually starts in January. So we need to we assign all of those returning students before we have that incoming first year class. So that's why that starts so early. So just keep an eye out for that. If you are really intent on living on campus more than 1 year, it is possible. It's a competitive process, but it is possible, and that process does begin in January. All right, so I'm gonna have Heather feed me some questions, though I don't know where they are. Can't read any. Oops. Go back. Heather, where my questions be? Do you know?
Yes. Where
Oh,
are
okay. It wasn't in my bar there. Zoom updates. Okay. So answer live. Those are the ones I need to do. She's saying yeah. I believe her. I'm
Yes.
just gonna do those. I'm sorry, Heather. I was calling her out. All right, Anonymous is asking, thank you, Anonymous. You're at every one of my webinars. You're a super fan. If I do register now but get approved for the exemption later, will there be cancellation fees or penalties? So if you are planning to get a exemption to the first year live-on requirement, as long as you make that request before the deadline, which I believe is May 1st, make the request, then you won't have any cancellation fees or penalties. So make sure you just make that request before May 1st. I think I did answer that live. Let's see. Like, Heather, how do I see which ones? Just the open ones I answer live? I don't know what's happening.
Yes, we have the ones that we have answered have disappeared. I think some of the
Okay.
ones from the very beginning, I
Okay.
assumed you would answer in the presentation.
Yeah.
So I can clear some of those out if I need to. We are getting a lot of questions about honors, however, if you want
Okay.
to double back on some of those details.
Okay. So Heather, if you can click answer live on any of the ones you want me to answer live, because right now I don't see a list for that. I just see open, answered, and dismissed. But I will talk about honors again. So if you're currently admitted or will be admitted to the Morehead Honors College, you have priority in Myers Hall. Not a requirement that you live in Myers, and we only have space for about half the incoming honors class in Myers. But what will happen is you'll get a regular appointment time to choose your space. at, let's say, June 3rd, I'm just making up days. But you'll also be able to log in earlier than that in late May before the appointment times start. And when you log in, you'll only see Myers as an option, and you can choose a Myers space at that point. And if you have a roommate who is in Myers, then you can pull in that roommate at that time. If your roommate is not in Myers, you will not be able to pull them in to that space. You're going to need to either wait till your appointment time and hope that there's some Myers spaces left, or pick a different building, if that makes sense. So really, it's just like honor students get first pick of Myers, but we don't have room for everyone there, which usually fine. Some days, some years they don't take all those spaces, and sometimes they do. Again, student-driven process, but that's how that's going to work, is those honor students will have the opportunity to choose Myers before anyone else is choosing anything else. All right, so that was my honors. Honors again. Are there residence hall recommendations based on majors? So not really. We do have some living learning communities that are in specific buildings. But again, since students are choosing their own housing, there's not really any, like this is the engineering building and this is the journalism building. There's not anything like that. But we do have some living learning communities. We have an entrepreneurship living learning community in Creswell Hall through Terry College. We have a Russian language community. We have a French language community. We have a Spanish language community. We have an art of wellness community. And then we have our Franklin Residential College, which is in Rutherford Hall. So all of those are kind of opportunities and have separate application processes. But generally those deadlines are mid-April. So if you're interested in one of those, then go ahead and maybe look it up on the housing website, just living learning communities, and find out what that looks like. But those would kind of automatically put you in a specific building, but the whole building is not that community, if that makes sense. So, French language community may only have 10 participants, or Russian language may only have 15 participants. So it's really not the whole building, it's just a contingent in that building. All right, let's see. What do I need? Okay, Heather's gonna answer this. I'm gonna go down to the bottom because I feel like sorry, we're working through this. All right. Not seeing any answer live. Suzanne, where do sophomore students live? I know they don't live on campus. So some students do live on campus. Again, we have that process that starts in January. We have space for about 2,500 returning students. It'll be more than that next year because of a new building opening up in 2026. So we have, second year, third year, fourth year, and we have graduate students living on campus, but not as many first year students. I think 70% of the students who live on campus are first year students. After that, they are moving off campus, maybe to a fraternity house or a sorority house, or one of the bajillions of off-campus apartments in town. The Office of Student Transitions can help people kind of navigate that. And there's also like a housing fair in January where people can kind of go and visit and talk with different apartment complexes. So those are all options. All right. Let's see, y'all are typing. Suzanne's on it. Go.
Just to give you an update, you are on top of things so much that you're going faster than I can type. So good on you. So I am typing and trying to select ones for you to answer live.
That's okay. Folks, we also have a FAQ that they're copying and pasting from. So that's good on us for preparing in advance. I'm going to ask McKenna to maybe, when she has a second, to talk about maybe the move-in process for her and what to bring. Like, McKenna, was there stuff that you brought and you didn't need, or you needed and you didn't bring? Now, McKenna, to be fair, you're from Athens, right, McKenna? Yeah,
Yes, I
so she
am.
didn't have far to go if she forgot it.
No, I didn't. So with me, moving was really easy, especially since I work on campus. I am a social media ambassador for UGA Housing for the Instagrams and all the other platforms. So it was easy for me because I was able to move in early that way. And also I did sign up to help with the thing that Carrie talked about with the move in thing and helping people move in. Um, and with that, like I just brung a whole lot of stuff. And if I forgot something, yes, it was easy for me to go back and forth to get it. But I like the things that I really needed was like extra storage. So I got extra storage bins. The thing that I didn't have that I really needed was a laundry basket, like an actual portable laundry basket. I had a laundry basket that rolled, but it wasn't big enough for all the clothes that I brought. So I got a bigger one. So definitely recommend a bigger laundry basket, especially since you'll be hauling your clothes back and forth from whatever floor or whatever hallway you're on. But yeah, that's about it.
What building did you live in when you were first year, McKenna?
My first year, I lived in building 1516, and I
Okay.
was lucky enough to be on the first floor. But with building 1516, the laundry rooms are on every even floor and the kitchens are on every odd floor.
Yeah, yeah. And that's one of our buildings. It's about 60% freshmen, about 40% upperclassmen, and it has not suites, but what we call double with bath. So like I explain it like it's a hotel room type setup. Like there's two beds in there and then there's a bathroom that's attached to that room. All right, let's see. I got some more questions here. We were told by our tour guide that fraternity rushies must move in early as well. Can boys not move in early like the girls' sororities? So it's my understanding that fraternity recruitment works quite differently than sorority recruitment. So I would check with Greek Life, but Greek Life is the group that tells us who can move in early. And in the past, it's only been sorority recruitment. I've not heard that changing. But if they want to move in on the 8th, that works. But as far as I know, it's just sorority recruitment on the 7th. Let's see, I talked about learning communities. Anonymous, how do you set up your UJ email? Suzanne's gonna type that for you. Come on, check your emails or Google it. That is important. If you learn nothing from this webinar or from orientation, it is check your UJ email. I'm not even kidding you. Let's see, is there another webinar geared towards graduate students? We had one earlier a few weeks ago. There will not be another one. All our graduate spaces for fall are full currently. So if you are looking for graduate student housing, I would say call our office and they can kind of guide you whether you should even register or not. But that's a great question. Let's see. How likely is it to obtain a single room? So I don't know how many people are moving out of their single rooms for the fall that currently have them, because generally people, when they have them, they keep them. I also don't know how many people want a single room. So again, student-driven process. If there are single rooms available, you will see them when you log in, and you can sort by single room. As a first year student, you should expect to have a room with a roommate. We do have some apartments that have, like a one occupancy bedroom in an apartment with other people. But there aren't that many first year students who are going to have single rooms. It's just not, we just don't have a lot. Let's see. What is the deadline for accommodations? All right, Suzanne's typing that answer. There's not really a deadline, but try to, like the sooner the better if you've got an accommodation. Heather's gonna talk about family weekend. I'm gonna talk a little bit about family weekend too, Heather. So family weekend this is the first year that we've done that as a university. And it'll be, like it says down there, November 6th through 9th. It'll be where you pay like a fee, smallish fee. You'll come, there'll be hotel packages. There'll be all kinds of events that you can choose to go to. Maybe it's like visit the vet school or we'll have a tailgate because it's an away game weekend, or visit with an RA. Like people can do their own things, but there will be several kind of structured events around campus and downtown that families can do. And that's really because we wanted an opportunity for families to come to UGA and see what it's like, not just for football, right? Because that's a totally different atmosphere. You're welcome to do that as well. But there's really a chance to get to know your students' new environment and kind of figure out what they are doing day to day. What just happened? There we go. All right, let's see. As an honor student, why would I want Myers? Are the rooms bigger or any other perks? I would say the rooms are not generally bigger. They're bigger than Russell Hall, Brumby Hall, Creswell Hall. They're not bigger than Hill, Church, Boggs, Mel, Lipscomb, 15, 16. But Myers Quad is a very popular place to be because it's right there on a quad. Again, that's where they do college game day when they have college game day coming to town. 2 days ago, they had a hot air balloon out there. So it's just really central to campus, and that's just where the honors program also has an advising office in the building. So that's just why. It's not because they're bigger or anything. Let's see. We've got some people who are asking about the apartments. So we do have apartments on campus. We have apartments that house between 2 and 6 roommates. Some of those rooms may be single occupancy, so you just have a room to yourself. Some may be double occupancy in an apartment. The apartments have, bathrooms within them, obviously, and then like kitchenettes with full-size fridge and full-size microwave. There's not a stove, but there is a kitchen in the building with a stove and an oven. So those are available for first-year students. There aren't that many. That's where our returning students generally like to go as upperclassmen. But that is an option. And again, like when people log in during their appointment time to see, to choose their space, you can sort by apartment if you know you want an apartment. We also have apartments in University Village, and those do have an oven and a stove, like full kitchen. They're double occupancy bedroom, living room, all that. So that's another option as well. And those, we do have 3 buildings, 3 apartment buildings just for first year students in our University Village East. So we call it UV East. So that's an option as well if you want an apartment. All right, let's see. All right, Jessica's asking, for out of state, can items be shipped ahead of time to your dorm? So don't have anything arrive before you check in, because we don't have room to store it, and you don't actually live there yet. So they may not be able to deliver it since you don't live there yet. That's not your legal address until the 7th or the 8th. So if you're planning to ship things, make sure they're arriving after you arrive. And that's kind of my advice for that. You could ship things to like an Amazon pickup box or something, but don't ship things directly to the building. Let's see. I'm gonna go back to the top. I'm gonna go to the bottom. Trying to search rooms by floor plan, but I don't know what an actual room number is in Russell Hall for an example. So almost all the rooms in Russell Hall, Creswell Hall, Brumby Hall, those are all going to be about the same. So if you pick a random number, you're pretty likely to land on the typical room in those buildings. Also at orientation, we'll have some sample room plans for each one. But like right now, I mean, I just plug in a room number, put in like 515 Russell Hall, and that's there's only, I think, 3 or 4 rooms that don't fall into that same description. So that would be a good plan, is just pick a random one. They're almost all the same. But that does bring up a good point, is when you do know your exact room number, you can look your exact room number up on the housing website. So we'll email you about this and we'll cover it in orientation, but there's a room plan search, so you can go in there and type in, Boggs Hall 312, and you can see the floor plan for that building. So that's a good resource as well. Kaylee wants to know which halls have the biggest and the smallest rooms. So the smallest rooms are probably going to be in Brumby Hall. The biggest rooms are probably going to be building 1516, with Churchill Boggs, Mel Lipscomb being a close second. Those are both pretty big rooms, because those Churchill Boggs, Mel Lipscomb also have a sink in the room that Brumby, Russell, the high rises do not. Let's see. Anonymous wants to know, could you elaborate on getting housing jobs? So yes, I can. For all those jobs listed, they may currently be listed on our Work for Housing page. So just go to Google Work for Housing. And then you can apply now for fall. That's great, especially over the summer. We're always taking people's applications for fall. Some of those applications will not pop up until later in the spring and summer. But there's some positions that we're always hiring for, like desk assistants and night desk assistants. So, we have 300 of those, so they're kind of always rotating around. But you can go ahead and do that. And what they'll do is, interview you or do the hiring process and then work with you once you know your schedule, and then we'll work around your schedule. All right. Let's see. Regina says, I saw on a previous webinar that the HVAC units are on the floor on certain floors and on the ceiling in certain floors. Yes, they are. So in Brumby and Russell halls, the HVAC units either are above you on the ceiling or below you on the floor on opposite floors. And I never remember which one is which. I think in Brumby, they're in even floors on the floor, and in Russell, they're in odd floors on the ceiling. But I can confirm that. Let's go Google that. I'm not going to Google it, actually. I'm just going to stop sharing and go look it up on the housing website. So, because that's how I roll. Let's see. I'm going to share this screen so you can see me do it, actually. Go back to you. Zoom. Share. This one. Share. Okay. So here I'm on my new student hub, which is another point I wanted to bring up. Like if you go up to incoming students, new student hub, that's where we are. You got lots of good stuff in here. Registration. Here's our web. There's where we are. Housing for orientation. And then at the bottom here, you've got resources for family supporters, resources for students, bunches of links, just FYI. But in here is do room plan search. Do that. And I'm going to search, I think, 224 Brumby, and it'll tell us, then we will know. Ta-da! Okay. So this one says fan coil unit on ceiling. So that means in Brumby, they're on the ceiling and even floors, and on the floor and odd floors. And Russell is the opposite. So in Russell, the fan coil unit is on the floor and even floors, and on the ceiling and odd floors. But anyway, so if you do a room plan search, this is basically what you'll see. You'll get the dimensions of the room and then all the dimensions of the furniture. So once you know your room, that's a great option to go in and do that. All right, oops. Gonna unshare, go back to my screen. Okay. So now, all right, now we're back. I'm gonna go find my questions again. So many questions. Y'all are doing some good questions. Okay. Which halls have community bathrooms? So I'm not going to name them all, but most of them, especially the first year only halls, are going to have community bathrooms. I will name the ones that don't. How about that? Rutherford Hall, Building 1516, Reed Hall, the apartments. So Busby, McWhorter, Vandiver, Rooker, University Village East, and There are some in Myers that are suites. But most of the others are gonna have community bathrooms. And don't get scared of community bathrooms. Go in that 360 tour and look at those bathrooms because they're generally pretty nice. Anonymous wants to know, are the floors separated by gender in co-ed dorms, or there's some exclusively for female students? So generally in the larger buildings, like in our high rises, there's 3 of those. They're gonna be separated by wing or floor. So it could be that on that floor, there are 3 community bathrooms and 3 different wings. 2 of them may be female, 1 may be male. But it could be the whole floor is all female or all male. So if there's a community bathroom, it's based on that bathroom, though there are single-use bathrooms in all the buildings as well. So in the buildings where the bathrooms are inside the rooms, it's just random because, you know, you could be next door to a roommate pair that is a different gender than you are. But it's based on where those bathrooms are. But again, there are single-use bathrooms in all of the buildings as well. And there is one building that is all female, and that is Sewell Hall, Soule, and that is all female. All right. Let's see. Answered that. Done. 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 Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to get y'all in order. What's the difference between a double with a bath and a double in a suite with a bath? That's a great question. So we do have a what's it called? A glossary on the housing website. Maybe I should just like stay on the housing website instead of this screen here. So I'm gonna go there right now and show it to you. Share again. Sorry with all the share swapping. So here we are on the housing website. I'm gonna go down to the bottom here. And where's my glossary? There it is. Way down there. Right there. Way at the bottom. So this explains all the different room types. So double with bath is gonna be 2 residents share a room and attached bathroom. Double in suite with bath means like you could have a 2-person bedroom, but there could also be another bedroom in there that shares that bathroom as well. If that makes sense. So it could be like there's 2 people on one side, 2 people over here, and a bathroom in the middle, or it could be like a single person here and then a double room here and another bathroom in the middle. So that's kind of those definitions. But if you also are curious about which buildings have what, we can go to explore options here. I'm gonna pick one. I'm gonna pick everybody's favorite, Black Yellow Miller. And it generally says here, like when you see the rates, FYI, these are the rates for this year. We do not yet have the rates for 25-26. So the Board of Regents better hurry up on that. But you can click on it and it'll explain, it'll go there. So you can see what it is if you ever have a question about it. All right. Oop, I answered that. I'm done. All right. How do room selection appointment times work? Is there limited time to search a room? So basically, in the order in which you register for housing and pay that $35 fee, we'll send out room selection appointments in waves. So beginning in late May, everyone will get an email, everyone. And it'll either say, you have an appointment to choose a space, it's X date, X time, or it'll say, you don't have an appointment yet, wait till next week. So we kind of do it on a weekly basis for all of June or end of May, all of June, until we get through everyone. So basically, as soon as your time starts, you can start searching for a space and it really doesn't expire. Now, you can't you're actually shopping for a room, like to get it, you put it in your cart. So you can't be like, oh, I see Rutherford 315. I'm gonna put it in my cart. It'll only stay in your cart for like 10 minutes. So you can't like go call your friend and like have a 3-hour conversation with them about what y'all want and then come back the next day and it won't be in your cart anymore. It's not Amazon. So it'll only stay in your cart for about 10 minutes, but once your appointment time starts, there's really not an end to how long you have to choose. But do keep in mind that other people are choosing while you're pausing, if that makes sense. So people are kind of continuously choosing like all week. But then once you choose, you've got it, then your next step is to sign your contract. All right, Anonymous wants to know, how often do community bathrooms get cleaned? Are they serviced during the weekend? So the community bathrooms are cleaned twice a day. And then our staff are on call for the weekend. So if it gets really messy or something specific happens, then our staff are on call for the weekend. But during the week, they're cleaning it twice a day. And if you have a suite or an apartment, you're cleaning your own bathroom, just FYI, which may be a consideration if you are not great at cleaning things. I'm looking at you boys. All right, let's see. Is it possible for freshmen to be an RA? So no, it's not. You need to have lived on campus for 1 year before you are an RA. But the RA hiring process usually starts in November, December. So it'll start November and December of this year for next fall. But they're really just looking for students who have, maybe joined community council in their building, which is like student government for the building, or taken on leadership roles in student organizations. But you do have to have lived on campus for a year before you can be an RA. And once you're an RA, your housing is covered and you also get a stipend as well. Let's see, I'm trying to figure out which order these are going in. Okay, I'm going the wrong way. All right, did it, sorry. All right, trying to buy things for a room. How do I know the bin sizes, closet sizes, whatever? Again, once your student knows their exact room, go on that room plan search. I'm at Blackdale and Miller, you can get to it from anywhere. Go there, search their room. At orientation too, we will have more specific information if you visit our table about like how big are the cubbies in the like shelves in Russell Hall. So we will have some more information on that. We don't have a ton, like we don't have everything. But we will try to get it if we feel like that is something a lot of people are asking. But do search that room number once your student knows exactly what building they are in. Let's see. Olivia says, will forms to move in early for Rush on August 7th come from UGA Housing or Greek Life? So you register for sorority recruitment with Greek Life. So once you've done that, they will give your name to us and we will send you information about how you can sign up for your appointment time, if that makes sense. So make sure you're registered with Greek Life if you are going to do that. Anonymous wants to know, when will the housing appointment emails start coming out? It will be late May. We don't have a date. I'm not trying to be sneaky about it. We don't know how many people are going to commit to UJ at this point. So it really is based on that and then how we jigger that. Like if it's more people than we thought, then we're gonna have to think through some things. And then, figure out where everybody's going and like how many appointment times to offer. So it'll be late May. Like that's the best I can do at this point, is just keep checking your email. The email will not come out. We're not going to email you and be like, okay, log on now to choose your space. It'll be at least a few days in advance and we'll say, hey, your appointment time to choose your space is X date and X time. And we'll at least give you a few days notification in that so that you can, plan for it. Let's see. How do you create a roommate group if you already have a roommate? Suzanne's going to answer that one because I don't understand what that means. Cole says, I want to be ready to select the right room when it goes live. How do we know in advance which floors are male and female? Oh, that's a great question, Cole. So you will not be able to see rooms that are not available to you. So if you have your gender marked male, then you will only see male spaces. It won't let you pick spaces that are not available to you. The same way it will not let you pick spaces that are already taken by our current students or other incoming first year students. So that was a good question. So everything you see will be everything that's there. Don't be waiting and thinking like, oh, they're holding back some tickets. Just like Taylor Swift, we're not going to add another concert. I'm gonna just see how many times I can say Taylor Swift in this presentation. But everything that's available, you will see there. We're not holding things back. All right, let's see. Already answered that one. What are the apartments reserved for freshmen? So there are apartments in what we call UV East called buildings. This is really exciting. J, K, and L. That's what they are in UV East. And those are all first year students. So if you're looking for an apartment as a first year student, that's a great option. We do have some in Busby, Rooker, Vandiver, McWhorter that are also apartments, but they're not full kitchens or like kitchenettes. And there are fewer of those available than there are in UV East. So UV East is where you want to look if you want to get an apartment as a first year student. Let's see. How does the process work? Oh, Suzanne's doing that. Did that one. What are the high-rise dorms? So our high-rise buildings are Brumby, Russell, and Creswell. And those are the 3 9 or 10-story buildings that are on West Campus, close to the Tate Student Center. We're all like Miller Learning Stadium, which is where main large lecture classrooms are going to be. It's really in the central heart of campus. Those are what we call our high-rise buildings. Brumby and Russell have been renovated. Creswell has not yet. It is on the slate to be renovated 2028, I think. But they're kind of basically all the same. But that is where a good chunk of our first year population lives, is in those 3 buildings. All right. Let's see. I answered that. Let's see. Okay, can all beds be lofted? Anna asks. Yes, unless they are a double bed. So like some apartment rooms have full size beds and not twin beds, if that makes sense. So we're not gonna loft a double bed. But basically the default position for all the twin and extra long twin is going to be lofted. So when you move in, you can expect it to be up. And we do have some more information on that. Hold on, let me go back to the new student hub. Down here, there is a 17 position adjustable beds link, and it's a nice little PDF. And look at that. So the default height is going to be listed here. And then you can request to have us lower it to that traditional height. Last year we did it before move-in. I don't know if they're going to stick with that this year, but just know, like, you can do it yourself, but that's kind of the measurements for those. The default is going to be raised up, if that makes sense. Can we discuss more about housing contracts? Yeah, I think we've got 1 more minute and then I'm gonna let y'all go. But this will be recorded and we have another one Thursday. So a housing contract is what students are gonna sign in the Dawg House after they choose their space. So you choose your space, we'll send you an email within the next day or 2 that says your housing contract is available. They'll give you a deadline for that housing contract. Go into the Dawg House and execute that contract by the deadline, and that secures your space. It is a binding legal contract. Do not sign that contract if you're like, I'm not sure I want to go to UGA, or like I am committing to several schools, or like I have a exemption that I'm waiting for, don't sign the contract. Because there will be penalties for breaking that contract. But do know, like, read over it, make sure you understand it. If you want to loop in a parent or a guardian to help you read it, that's great. But the student will be the one signing that contract. Okay, so we're at 8. I told you I'd let you go, and I also have to go to an alumni webinar right after this. So if you have any further questions, please don't hesitate to chat. You can do the chat down here at the bottom. You can do a little send message when we're here in the office. You can call, you can email. We really are here to help you, and we really want you to understand the whole process and all your options. So really, don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions. We're all here, and we really want to make sure that you have the best experience that you can. So I want to thank McKenna and Suzanne and Sydney and Heather for really helping out in the background. And I hope y'all have a good rest of your evening, and go Dogs.